Hey guys, what is happening? So in this video, we are talking about Canada's Condo Ponzi scheme. This is a Condo Ponzi scheme that you're seeing happening, not just here in Canada, but also in the United States. So before we get started, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this type of content. And without further ado, guys, let's do this. So, Canada's Condo Ponzi scheme, what am I talking about here? Well, guys, basically what I'm talking about is condominium projects, sort of like the one behind me. There's probably a condo fee attached to something like this, but think more of your big high-rise building. Think of those huge buildings in Toronto that cost probably billions to build, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. And think about those, because people are going to have to pay for the upkeep of these buildings, and the condo fees are going to be rising with the real rate of inflation, not the government's CPI. And this is why the government's CPI is so irrelevant, and that's why we call it a CP lie, because it is in fact a lie. You can double it to get nearer to a closer rate of inflation. Now, a lot of you have been reaching out to me, and thank you for doing so, and letting me know about condo fee rises that you're seeing friends go through, or you're dealing with yourself, that are insane amounts, going up 30% or whatever it is, because they need to do building repairs. Listen guys, think about it. When you buy a property, that is a long-term thing that you are doing. Think about the terms of these contracts, 25, 30 years normally. So think about these towers. Think about what they're gonna look like in 20 years. Think about what the condo fee is going to be like in 20 years. Are they gonna be knocking it down again? What's gonna be happening? Because what happens is, as a building ages, the upkeep for that building gets more and more and more. It gets more and more and higher amounts of money. Think about cars, it's exactly the same. So if you think about it in the context of cars, think about how when your car gets a higher mileage on it, you have to put more maintenance money into it. Well, it's the same with any house or project like that. So when you think about these massive high rises that you see, just think about the maintenance in terms of maintaining these things. Think about all the movie rooms and different things like that. You've got movie rooms, you've got pools, you've got hot tubs in a lot of cases in these condos in places like Toronto and Vancouver. And the reason why it's just a gigantic Ponzi scheme is just because the reality is, guys, when you think about it, these fees are just going to go up and up and up. And it's going to mean that people are going to have to foot the bill for those fees. So they're going to go up with the real rate of inflation, as we're already seeing right now. And as these buildings age, they're going to get to a point where they're even more than the mortgage. So think about it like this, guys. This is the Ponzi scheme explained here. So as people pay down their mortgage, so as the value of their debt goes down, you are going to see the condo fees rise in tandem with it. So they're literally going to be paying this obscene amount of money, and eventually the condo fee will be more than their mortgage payment ever was. And even once they've paid off that thing, they still have to pay the condo fee. I mean, it's a total disaster. Nobody is going to be able to afford to live in these things, and quite frankly, they are going to be the things that crash the most in value, because nobody is going to want to buy these things that have got higher condo fees than they have mortgages, because then it makes zero sense. You might as well just go and buy a property versus one of these stupid condos which are in these really fancy buildings. I know you've seen all of the buildings. I'll try and put some photos so you can see what I'm talking about right now. But these are huge and really, really expensive buildings. And you know, they have these grand foyers, but all of this stuff that they put into it, it costs money. So people are going to be absolutely horrified when they end up in this situation like behind me, where they can't sell, and they are going to be stuck with this massive, ever increasing condo fee payment that is just going to get worse and worse and worse. And what do you think is going to happen when people realize about this? It's going to be an absolute disaster. And think about condos, because they are the most popular investment product out there, because Chinese people can buy them, they can just leave them empty, and they know it's going to be safe because there's a security and a concierge usually at these places, because they can pay through the condo fees for that person's salary. But the reality is there'll just be major cuts, and there'll be nothing left of the services. These buildings will be run down to anything. And it's just a massive Ponzi scheme, basically. Buying a condo, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And you know, the market for condominiums is extremely depressed here in Calgary. Calgary is an excellent example of a depressed condo market. And there's no short supply either, due to, I'm not sure if it's the city or the developers, but they've been building loads of condos. With every new subdivision, they've been building condos, and they can't sell those condos. So what do? They then flip into the rental market. So that increases rental inventory, and you've got a ton of condo projects that are going to be completing like over the next 6-12 months. Nearly half of the housing starts that happened throughout 2021 were these condos. So just think about that. And you know, Calgary has built more single family homes. There's been more housing starts here in Calgary than there has been in Toronto. So it's been totally different here compared to there. And really, Toronto has run out of space for single family homes. That's why they build upwards in the condominiums. And that's what attracts speculators and investors. And you've even got it a lot here in Calgary. And these people are just going to be hit by a bus. They're just going to be totally flattened and run over, because like I said, guys, these condo fees are going to ever increase. They're going to increase with the real rate of inflation, not the government's phony CPI. And the reality is, if there's a massive repair that needs doing on a building, somebody has to pay for that, and they have to split it up by the square feet between all the people who live in that building. The people don't own anything. They don't own any land. They just own their little slice of box in this building in the sky. I mean, it's a total Ponzi scheme, guys. I would not touch one with a 10-foot pole, as I said. And these condo schemes, they are very, very popular across Canada. They're extremely popular in California, especially, and across the United States. New York is another place where they're extremely popular. So it's really just insane, you know, what is going to happen, and the tides are completely changing. And the thing is, the Chinese economy is heading into a recession, so you're not going to see as many Chinese investors as you've seen in the past who have pushed up the prices of these condos. You're not going to see them anymore, because when China's in a recession, that means people are going to be making less money, and China is going to be tightening up. It's already doing that. It doesn't want people to leave the country. So think about what that means going forward. Think about how that's going to change for just the tourism industry. Think about how much tourism comes from China. It's just kind of insane when you really think about all the products, all the tourism, all the speculation aspect of real estate in Western countries that has come from China, and we're going to see that reversing. And China is becoming an ally now with Russia. These superpowers together make the biggest superpower in the world, bigger than the United States. They can dominate, and this will change the world order. Check out Ray Dalio's video if you want a real simple video that explains how that is going to exactly happen. But it's the reality, guys, that you've got to accept. So you've got to prepare for it and really just do not deny what's going to happen. So the thing is, with that being said, with everything that is happening right now within China, it is going to really mean a different story for the world. The world is changing massively. Real estate is not going to be what it is today in 30 years. Governments are not going to be able to spend like they spend today in 30 years. I think we're going to, and I'm hopeful that we see a revert back to free market capitalism, because it is the only model where we will have success eventually. But the problem that I see is how much blood has to be spilt in order to get back to that model? How much pain do people have to endure in order to get back to that model? Because it's not going to be a bed of roses, guys, that is for sure. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment below. What do you think? What do you think of the condo fees? What do you think of China? What are your friends saying? Let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter. You can also email me. And if you want, guys, I'm going to be setting up a PO box. I know a lot of people like to send regular mail, and I'm fine with that. I love receiving regular mail as well, so I might do that too. So anyway, guys, please join us on the live stream in the future. Hit that notification bell below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Peace and love, guys. Bye-bye.